The more people I meet, the more I like animals I'm allergic to. For the longest time, I didn't really understand what Travelodge was doing. About 4 months ago, I guess, I quit doing down. And I screwed up somehow and missed my appointment to get my script refilled. So I walked around dope sick for 3.5 days till somebody said, go see the workers down at the hotel. They'll get you a doctor.
Well, it started back in March when COVID hit. And so we have 45 rooms here at the Travelodge for individuals that are homeless so that they can come and quarantine if need be, or they can isolate properly with COVID.
So my first introduction to them would have been Debbie. She was working that day. I knocked on the door. It was her that answered and asked how she could help me. I explained I needed a script. Missed my appointment. Wasn't going to be another one till after the weekend. So her and I don't remember the other worker ended up sending the doctor up to me up on McPhee there at the Friendship Center.
If it wasn't for Debbie, I wouldn't be here because, I don't know what I would do. Thank God she got me here.
I'm Debbie from the Comox Valley Transition Society, and I am the Homeless Outreach Coordinator at the Travelodge.
The hotel, though, they're using for housing homeless people, which is a good thing, yes, but it's not near enough. There's way too many families here still that have 1, 2, 3 kids.
The transition house has umbrellaed me for so many great things. So I want to say that they're awesome. They are awesome. But how can they fit everybody's needs? It's a lot of pressure on them too. So it's a lot of pressure on everybody.
And they're living in tents still. I know a couple families that have been in a tent for like 6 years.
You know, I didn't have savings like you're supposed to, and just kind of turned out where I thought, you know what, like I'm just gonna get a tent, and what else do you do? Like,
even with disability, for a 1-bedroom place, I'd end up being able to just pay rent. Anything else is not happening.
To end homelessness is a great big job. But I feel that we should all work together as one to end this problem. And in order to do that, we need to get affordable housing.
I was trying to find a place, a 1-bedroom place, $1,000 a month, and $500 down deposit, and all that. And I was only making less than $2,000 a month.
And I'm constantly trying to figure out how to better myself, but yet I'm always coming to these constant housing barriers. With rent being like $1,900 for a 1-bedroom, I cannot afford that, and I'm sorry. And I need to live too.
Lived in my 2-bedroom townhome for probably 14 years renting, and then the owner decided to sell. She was in it as an investment.
Yeah. And you know what? If we don't stigmatize people so much, they're more open to be willing to share and open up. But if you just are like, you're an addict, you're bad because you're homeless, you're bad, you're just a bad person because you're homeless, you must do drugs, you must be like crazy. I mean, that's not true. Every case is so individual.
My goals here are to work with each individual. Some days are big goals and some days are little goals, but the biggest thing is working with each individual so that we can move them forward in the process of getting housing once they leave the Travelodge. Whether that's looking at mental health issues, getting individuals into treatment, working with their doctors, getting all the community resources that they possibly need, and to be within the community, living in the community.
Kind of in between places at my mom's husband's place and house sitting and on and off for a year, kind of finding places and not. And I had to be out on December 1st. This is just over a year ago, 14 months ago.
My staff is unbelievable. We are a really good team. We have everything. When you're working with marginalized individuals, some days can be sad, but we always seem to find the goodness in every day.
So I did that, and it wasn't very easy. Setting a tent up at night, and I was working 4 days a week on the back of a garbage truck. And then the days started to get longer, picked up, and it was pretty rough through that first winter out there by myself. I couldn't keep it up. I was, wasn't doing, you get really depressed as much as you want to keep a head up, and you can't shower. And I was biking to and from work, and it was winter. It was like, almost kind of go half nuts, and subsequently kind of lost my job, or did lose my job, and I did go into the plant for 3 days when my backpack was stolen in the morning before work, and I said, screw it, I didn't even bother going in, and didn't call until later in the day and got fired. It was, I almost didn't even care, because it was just like I became second to living and what was going on. I never imagined it. It was always work. You have to make it to work, and it was just. After that, I actually went on to live for almost 6 months with no real income, no EI, no social assistance, because I was just so frustrated and pissed off with the situation. That happened about a month before, maybe even less, and when COVID first came in. It was like, hang on for your life. Thank goodness for the soup kitchens and stuff like that, and I made a little bit of money and had my few days pay, so you don't need much to live when you're thinking of just survival. And then I toughed it out for a year while trying to work a few times in that year before it just became too difficult. Breaking down bikes. It was taking me all day just to get into town and have a shower.
I was with such an abusive man. He groomed me from, I was very young when I met him. He was older than I was, and there's that problem too, is that, we women, if we don't have a home, sometimes we kind of get trapped into going to our boyfriends, and that might not be the most healthiest thing. I've seen that with my friends over and over and over again, and I've seen that with myself. I have broken the cycle. You either have to pick between having food in the fridge, which you don't even have a fridge, or living on the street. So it's really hard. And then you get these 2-year programs, and then your rent goes up, and you're not budgeted for that, and it's just, I think, and one thing I would like to see is have it all up front at once. Yeah, and more just, and not so limited. Yeah.
Because everyone's journey will be different.
Exactly.
It won't just take 2 years.
Because I'm telling you, out of my relationship, I don't have credit. I wasn't allowed to. There was just certain things that I can't explain to you, that coming out of an abusive relationship so long, and now I'm like on the streets, it's like, it's, well, not on the streets, I'm in a hotel. Thank God I've not had to go there. But that's like, that scares me to death. So I have really bad anxiety, and I have depression, and I'm working on myself, and I'm doing the best that I can do. But I need it, like, as I said, people need a stable place to stay before they can start getting to the places that they need to go to get to a better life. Because we are in Canada, and I think it is ridiculous that we have homelessness and hunger.
Things here at the Travel Lodge got a little better, and I thought, hey, come down, put my name in, and end up getting in here, and it's been just over 2 months now. And so here I am, still uncertain about the future.